Good day and welcome to a further video from the Association of Foreign Property Owners Spain. This information video is part of our Getting to Know Spain collection of videos. It is being made in January 2021 and the subject matter is NIE number and residency. An all-important part of all of the association's videos, other than that they are all authoritative and comprehensive, is that they are 1. Date stamped and 2. Periodically refreshed and updated. In these post-Brexit days in Spain, out-of-date information is almost as dangerous as having no information. At the end of this and every video, there are a few minutes of information about the video collections available in the association's video tutorial library and about membership of the association. So we'll not go into that sort of detail here. You can elect to end listening and leave this video once the core information has been delivered, or of course at any time before then, or you can keep the video playing for a couple more minutes to learn about what is available to you by registering free at the association and or becoming a member. Okay, moving on. Who is this video for? This specific information video, all about the NIE, is targeted at someone who is not yet fiscally active in Spain, but who wants to become active, to look for a property or a job or to start a business, or is seriously considering one of those things, and will help somebody who has only just arrived in Spain intending to stay a while as more than just a casual tourist. And so if you have gone beyond that stage already and already have an NIE, then you probably won't want to watch any further of this video, but you should view its sister, the TIE and Residency information video. Let's discuss NIE basics. An NIE is a tax information number in Spain for foreigners. The NIE letters stand for Número de Identidad de Extranjero, where extranjero means foreigner.
Número de Identificación de Extranjero.
NIE numbers are issued by the National Police. They come to you on a standard A4 sheet of paper, which also has your name, your surname, your date of birth, your nationality, and an example of the NIE number itself, such as X-12345678-R. The Spanish government has now linked this tax NIE number to residency, and so the NIE tax number appears on a residency paper, or as is now, a tarjeta de residencia, a resident card. And that same tax number is linked to social security matters in Spain. So it is becoming a central number for many things. In this video, we propose to remove all misunderstandings and mystery surrounding the NIE number and residencia to a lesser degree. We will inform you what status you will need in what circumstances, plus a little about where and how to obtain an NIE. Videos in our Getting to Know Spain tutorial collection do not attempt to show you step by step how to do things. They do show you the roadmap and point you in the right direction, taking you to the doorway of what you require. Spain is famously bureaucratic, and these processes are often not easy. Also, Spain has 13 autonomous regions, and so there are minor differences in the process in each. If and when you reach that doorway, you do turn out to need step-by-step instructions about how to go through the door, because you are bound to meet some of these issues and problems in getting where you're going, then it is the association's Explaining Spain collection of videos that will show you how to do every single thing you might ever want to do in Spain, step by step by step. The Spanish government, Spanish banks, notaries and so on seem to love long, confusing forms with even more confusing explanations, of course, in legal Spanish. This can be daunting at first, but with our help, you will beat the system and get things done. So with that said, let's go back to the start of the NIE and Residency story, which begins with tourism and changes when activities go beyond tourism. On the screen you will see the notice about the Article 206 of the Regulation of Organic Law on the rights and freedoms of foreigners in Spain and their social integration, approved by the Royal Decree. It states that foreigners having a relation with Spain for economic, professional or social interests shall be provided with a personal, unique and exclusive sequential number for identification purposes. So, if you come to Spain for a week or a fortnight on a holiday, there's no likelihood you'll need any sort of foreigner identification number because you're not having a relation with Spain. But whenever a foreigner in Spain wants to do anything fiscally, which pretty much means anything at all, from banking money, receiving a registered letter from the postman, paying for something by credit card, these actions call for a tax identification number. And there are several types and names for tax identification numbers. Basically, a tax identification number is a TIN, and that same concept is used in many countries. In Spanish, it's a número de identificación de impuestos. You'll hear a lot of acronyms surrounding life in Spain. The Spanish love them. And surrounding this subject alone is the NIE that we've spoken of, an NIF, a CIF, the TIN we've just spoken of, DNI, and finally TIE. And we will put all of those into context, and hopefully from here on they won't confuse you. For a native Spaniard, that tax identification number that is given to them at birth, is called an NIF, which has got nothing to do with F for foreigner. It's an NIF. As a general rule, the tax ID number, the NIF, of individuals of Spanish nationality will also be their DNI. And that means their Spanish national ID, when it's followed in that context with a verification code. And so on papers and forms, you'll see DNI, and you may see NIF, and you will see NIE. And that's what those three things are. You will rarely see TIN, though they are all TINs. An NIE is crucial to hire utilities, obtain internet service, accept employment, attend school, pay taxes, buy property, etc. So the moment you're starting to think about doing any of those things, you have to obtain one. The allocation of any of these numbers is by the Ministry of the Interior. And whilst we're on the subject of identification numbers, the tax ID number for all companies in Spain is CIF, meaning Certificado de Identificación Fiscal. Sometimes, though rarely, an NIE is allocated rather than applied for. If you are unfortunate enough, for example, to be arrested in Spain whilst on holiday, you may come to be allocated an NIE for the paperwork systems that would surround that rather nasty event. Each NIE number is dedicated to one person, and it is not transferable, and it does not expire. You will never need more than one, no matter how many years you have a relation with Spain. It lasts the whole of your life. Your NIE, however, reaches you on a piece of paper that is dated, and that piece of paper expires at 3-month intervals. Once you actually have your NIE number, however, and you want to go into a bank, say 5 months later to make a payment, or you want to go to the post office to pick something up, etc., then it's sufficient just to provide the number. But if you want to make some sort of a major change in your affairs in Spain, involving the town hall, for example, then you are likely to have to refresh the piece of paper itself that has your NIE number on it if it is more than 3 months old. That will take you to receiving a new piece of paper with the same NIE number on it, but a fresh expiry date. Let's just move on to residency. Obtaining an NIE number is the first hurdle on the pathway to becoming a resident of Spain, but it is not residency of itself. It's not a permit. Having an NIE does not give you permission to do anything really apart from pay tax and have taxes that you pay, such as VAT, allocated to you as the payer. If you have no intention whatever of staying in Spain for more than 3 months, then you don't need a residency permit. You don't need anything. But if it becomes a possibility that you're going to be in Spain for more than 3 months, then you will need to obtain a residence permit. And the first part of obtaining residency is to obtain an NIE number, followed by obtaining a residency card called a TIE. The TIE, Tarjeta de Identidad de Extranjero, is your foreigner's identity card, which allows you to stay in Spain after your visa has expired. A visa applies to anyone who comes from a foreign country that either is not in the EU or does not have an arrangement with the EU to bypass the visa process. If you're a tourist from the UK, you do not need a visa for short trips to countries in the EU, and for that matter, nor to Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway or Switzerland. And you can stay for up to 90 days in any 180-day period, and that piece of information is as January the 1st, 2021. Okay, so in summary, if you're just coming on holiday to Spain for a fortnight or 3 weeks at a time, a couple of times a year even, you don't require an NIE. And you probably could not obtain one because you have to have a purpose in order to be able to obtain an NIE number. But if then you decide you like Spain and you want to, say, become a swallow, spending 4 or 5 months of the British winter here in the sunnier, warmer climate of Spain, then you will need to apply for residency to be able to do that, and obtaining an NIE number is the first step in the process. The residency process itself is covered in its separate Getting to Know Spain information tutorial. So just look around at the videos that are available in the library and you will find a video similar to this that is about residency and how to actually obtain an NIE from your home country or when you are in Spain is the subject of a step-by-step explaining Spain tutorial. We end this information video with information on where to go and what you have to do to obtain an NIE. Spanish bureaucracy can be, inevitably is, complex, and unfortunately you can't apply for an NIE number online. You might hear that it could take 5 working days or thereabouts to obtain the number. Usually, however, at best, it's not until after 2 weeks or so that the NIE card will be available to pick up. But the process can sometimes take as long as 6 weeks. And so you should have that in the back of your mind if you are thinking of doing it as a consequence of coming over on a holiday, for example. The cost is less than €15. Applications from outside Spain can be made by submitting an application at the consular post where the foreigner resides. This is the Spanish consulate and shouldn't be confused with a Spanish embassy. And in the United Kingdom there are several that are situated at major cities. The application can be made personally or through a duly accredited representative. You don't have to be there physically, whereas other types of applications do require your physical presence. The application must be accompanied by a copy of the page of the applicant's passport that contains the holder's information, and by proof of the economic or professional or social interest that justifies the application. You're thinking of making an offer to buy a house, you're thinking of applying for a job, and so on. Or if you are in Spain, then you go to the relevant police station, which will probably be central of a sizable town, or where it exists, the Oficina de Extranjeros, the Office of Foreign Affairs. The association can assist you in two further ways. Assuming that you register with us, then you have access to the libraries of videos like this, covering every single topic relating to living or owning in Spain. And there, go to the How to Do It, which is a mini tutorial course about obtaining your NIE. Or you can instruct an association support team professional to simply do it for you. This ends the information video, which we hope has been helpful. Beyond the clip that follows is a short section about membership of the association and the members library. If you haven't already seen this clip, then we recommend that you listen for a few more minutes and learn about this association and what it can do for you. Good day to you.